Yo, what is going on, you hairy halucha? I want to give a big shout out to Channel Fireball. As always, check them out, channelfireball.com. If you guys need any Battle Styles cards, or cards in general, get them over there. Or check out their CFB Pro, the #1 spot to educate yourself on getting better at the Pokemon trading card game. All right. Oh, as always, use code AzulGG. All right, Victini VMAX is the deck for today. Now, if you guys have heard me talk about it, I've talked a little smack on Victini VMAX, but I do think it is a pretty solid deck after playing around with it. And I think it's just overall very solid in the current meta. This is the build that I've been rocking most recently. It is a Crushing Hammer build, but that's only because there's so much space in the deck. I felt like, hey, why not add some Crushing Hammers in here, because there's so much room in the deck to play around with. We got some fans in here as well, so quite a bit of energy denial in general in here. And then really aggressive on the boss. That's actually our most played supporter in this build is Boss's Orders, which might seem a little bit weird, but Victini VMAX is super efficient to set up. It takes 2 energy to use the Max Victory, and Max Victory can knock out pretty much any V that would want to become a VMAX, or Crobat, or Eldegoss. Now, we can't take knockouts on stuff like Dedenne, unfortunately, but that would maybe make the card a little bit too good. But if we go first and we go attach, pass, and our opponent goes bench a Dragapult V attached to it, we can go turn 2, attach, VMAX, boss, knockout, and then they're just set really far behind. And that's kind of the idea of most Victini VMAX builds, is just to kind of abuse that Boss's Orders play as much as possible to kind of just chase knockouts. We also have escape ropes in here as well. We got 2 escape rope, so that's more ways we can kind of pull up Pokemon off our opponent's bench, especially if they have a very small bench early on, like I don't know, an attacky, maybe they got like a Crobat, a Dragapult V, and they got like a Drachi and they're active. We play escape rope, we're getting 2 prizes that turn, right? So escape rope also super strong with this deck for similar reasons. And then we got the usual suspects in here as well to go alongside any kind of welder deck. We got some Crobats, we got some Dedennes, the Eldegoss, a Heatran, and a Cramorant. Cramorant super good at helping us close out games with that spit shot. And we got a Mew in here as well. Protect our bench from those pesky Rapid Strike Urshifus, the Cramorants of our opponent as well. I've ran into a lot of mirror matches, or up against Scorch VMAX even, where it's like Cramorant is the way both of us are going to win the game. And protecting our bench is super important against that kind of situation. So we got the Mew in here for opposing Cramorants, as well as those, Rapid Strike Urshifus that are going around right now. And the rest of it's pretty simple. We don't actually even play 4 Welder. I'm going on 3 Research, 3 Welder right now. We like the Research because it goes through our deck a little bit more aggressively. Helps us find stuff like those Fan of Waves, Crushing Hammers, stuff like that, or just getting into our VMAX on the turn 2. Because once again, we don't need to Welder turn 1 or turn 2 theoretically. If we go, even if we go second, we could even use like a Spreading Flames theoretically. So first or second, no matter which one we start with, no matter which turn we start on, we don't need to actually use a Welder, because we can go attach and then turn 2, attach, evolve, and that's it. We don't need a Welder to get that Max Victory on turn 2. We can just attach, and that's it. Attach, evolve. So only 3 Welder in here. We still want to have the Welders for stuff like Cramorant, or to get enough energy in play to do a big Hot Burn GX with Heatran. But besides that, it's just not important. So we only run 3 of them, and then some researches in here as well. And like I said, really heavy on the boss, because that turn 2 boss play is so powerful. We always want to be looking for it. So that's about all I got to say about Victini VMAX. Stumbling over my words a little bit. So let's get into some games. All right, we're getting into our first one. We did win the coin flip. We do want to go first. Like I said, we want to get that turn 2 VMAX swinging, and this hand is set up very well to be able to do that. And we have the boss in hand as well. So let's see what our opponent's playing. See if we want to attach active or maybe on the bench to be a little bit safer. Got a Heatran, so we could run into a situation where we do get what's it called? Double blazed maybe. So I'm gonna attach to the bench here. A little bit rather safe than sorry, you know what I'm saying? So double blaze could be a potential threat here on this first turn, so we want to play around that, and we'll see what this quick ball grabs. But they are playing Scoop Up Net, so they are some kind of Welder deck with Scoop Up Net. Could be Tempozard, could be Scorch, could be Victini. There's a Fion, so now I'm scared. I don't want my Victini to get knocked out by a double blaze. That would be super unfortunate. Here comes another quick ball. There goes another Scoop Up Net. Yeah, so the Fion from my opponent here. It's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of scary. Let's see what they find off their quick ball here. There's the Rushizard. That's what I was scared of. Double Blaze is on the way, and I actually we don't have a great way to deal with the Rushizard from my opponent. Just gonna have to kind of swing through it and hope for the best. They could also whiff the double blaze here. They do need a lot. They need the welder. They need the 3 energy. They need to move the Heatran. So it's not like they have it guaranteed or anything right now. They do need a decent amount of stuff. They do need some stuff to actually be able to pull off that play. So let's see if they can even get that stuff to make that play happen. Yeah, they do need a little bit to make it happen here. And I have to decide on my turn, what do I want to do? I kind of want to chase this Crobat and take the knockout there. There's the welder for 2, so they're cruising along here. Couple more cards. There's the attachment. A switch away now, or an escape rope, I guess, is my opponent from getting this knockout on my Victini V. There goes a Cramorant to the deck. There's the Dedenne. So here it comes. Can they find themselves that switch? Here's a Goon as well. The Goon's not going to do a whole ton. Yeah, Goon doesn't really matter a ton. And now for me, it's going to be the question of what do I even want to do here in a response? If they do get the Fio knockout, how do I respond to a Reshizard? I don't even know. Could probably go with the Crushing Hammer. Crushing Hammer on the energy isn't even that great, to be honest. I don't even know how I would want to respond to my opponent getting the double blaze knockout here. All right, they whiffed. All right, so that's good. We got the switch of our own. VMAX switch. Definitely want to throw out a Crushing Hammer here. Get a Tails. We could go for the boss KO on the Crobat. I kind of like that. Let's go for it. And then we'll just go ahead and Crobat here ourselves. Draw some cards. We prize our second Crobat. Go ahead and draw some cards. Yeah, this thing's annoying, man. This thing is very annoying. Have to put Hearth in play as well. Not the worst thing ever, but we definitely don't want to put Hearth in play because it kind of gives it like a free Hearth to my opponent, which is, you know, not ideal. But let's go ahead and get some prize cards. Let's see where the game is going to go from here. We do have like a Cramorant for Dedenne for 2 more prize cards potentially. There's another boss to work with, so maybe we look for I don't know, Cramorant next turn, KO Dedenne into. Maybe they put something else down for us to chase. It's just getting through the Reshizard is going to be tough. Reshizard is really annoying. Okay, they're going with the Fion here. So they do get a free prize card. I guess we always give them Crobat here. They can Flare Strike my Crobat if they want to. That means the Victini is kind of safe, though, which I really like to see. My Victini is pretty safe. And they did discard their Zigzagoon, which means they can't Double Blaze KO this next turn. If they didn't do that, they would have been able to. So maybe we can go for, like, Boss KO Jirachi into Heatran 1-hit KO the Reshizard. I kind of like that. I think we should go for that. Let's do that. Let's do that. So let's just go Boss. Bring up Jirachi. Oh, they could KO me with the Heatran next turn, though. But if they do that, we could respond with Victini, I guess. That's not great, though. No matter what happens here, I think it's not great. Where do I want to put this energy is the question, I guess. I don't want this to get bossed and knocked out, so I almost want to put it here. I guess so. Yeah, they could knock us out with Heatran with the Hot Burn GX. That'd be all their energy that we could take out of play, and then maybe we'd be able to survive from there. I don't really want to discard anything out of my hand. I guess I'd be fine with getting rid of the escape rope to thin out the deck. We have a ton of energy left, so I don't really need them all. I don't play Reset Stamp or anything, so our comeback potential is not super high once we fall behind in like a Welder mirror match like this. If we're up against other decks like the Urshifus or Dragapult, we can always try and like get ahead again with like Crushing Hammers and fans, but that's not as good against these Welder decks. But yeah, they can knock me out with the Hot Burn GX. It would be all their energy. It would involve them using all of their energy, but they definitely can do it. They definitely do it, but it's just a Flare Strike. Okay, so we're looking to use Heatran to close this one out then. There's a Mew. That's not going to do anything, so we need to find a Welder. Throw down the Heatran. If we whiff, we can still just hit really hard, I guess, as well. We can still just hit really hard with Heatran and then clean it up with Cramorant later on. So let's go with an attach to Heatran. I don't know, quick ball away. Maybe keep my Mew around for right now. Grab the Dedenne. Maybe find a Welder. It's going to be all off this Dedenne to find a Welder as well, because we don't have anything else to find cards. I wouldn't mind having this around to protect from Cramorant into the late game. And then, yeah, Dedenne change. Can we find a Welder? There's no. Answer is no, and the rest of the hand is also a no. because this is not the kind of hand we want to see here. All right, I think we just Heatran-GX. I guess Steaming Stomp also sets us up for the Cramorant knockout on the following turn. That's curious. Do we want to Steaming Stomp? Do we want to Heatran-GX? Cramorant can KO no matter what. We just need a draw supporter there in general. It didn't have to be a Welder. Welder would have been great because we win the game, but even just a research there would have been pretty good. Heatran-GX, Steaming Stomp. I'm torn here. I'm really torn. 200 damage. We have 70 HP left. I don't know if we can really work with 70 HP, to be honest. So let's go for the Steaming Stomp. Let's leave the extra energy on the Heatran. Maybe we can somehow work that later on. But our opponent is pretty much in complete control now. They can knock us out with... I guess they can't knock us out with Outrage, so they have to use Double Blaze. But if they just get a Welder onto their Heatran-GX, we're going to be in trouble, I think. Yeah, our opponent's in a great spot. Our opponent's in a great spot. Yeah, not going to lie, our opponent's in a really good spot here. And we're going to need to get a little bit lucky, I feel like, to make the comeback at this point. And to be able to walk away with the dub here, we're going to need to get a little bit lucky here. We'll see. Our hand is dead. We have a Dedenne left, though. That's our one, like, kind of... our one thing to work with here is we do have a Dedenne left in our deck. I could have put one of these Air Balloons in play, probably on the VMAX. So we have a Dedenne left, which means we can Dedenne change. We can get Cramorant, we can get Welder, and snipe knock out this Charizard. Of course, that's all hoping our opponent doesn't play Mew, because if our opponent also plays Mew, then we just have no way to actually get access to the Charizard anymore, and we will just kind of lose from there. And I held on to this Crushing Hammer because it could be better to Crushing Hammer energy somewhere else in play for sure. So hold on to the Crushing Hammer for now. No need to play it on last turn. But I think I definitely should have played one, if not both, Air Balloon, to be honest. I doubt my opponent plays Tool Scrapper, so it wouldn't really make a huge difference if I put it in play or not. There's just the Double Blaze from my opponent, so they're still dead dry. And I guess that means, oh, well, no, we can get the knockout with Victini V here, actually, if we get a Welder top deck. So a couple ways to close this one out. Need a good top deck. Oh, that is not the good top deck we are looking for. Man. Attach here. We can run to Mew for a turn and hope our opponent does not have Boss, and I guess that's where we're at. Yeah, my opponent is not drawing very well at all. Bench a fresh Victini attached to that. Retreat. I will play this Crushing Hammer now on this double tails. For the Air Balloon, do I want to take energy out of the deck? I think I probably do. Maybe leave 3 in there, just in case I need to Cramorant for some reason. I guess it could end up as, like, my opponent retreats this, but only knocks out my Mew, and then we would want to be able to Cramorant this. Because if we could get the Boss as well here, I guess, but... Actually, I probably shouldn't have benched this, to be honest, because now I can't top deck Calm. Oh, and there's the Fion, though. Of course, my opponent has the Fion. And yeah, it doesn't matter what we send up here. My opponent's got the Flare Strike for the KO for the last 2 prize cards. All right, we fell a little bit behind, but I feel like we're still in a really good spot up until the point where we're just like Dedenne change and couldn't find a single draw supporter, Welder, or Research. And then everything started to crumble. And we end up with an L here in this first one in Victini VMAX Mirror Match, but I guess they're playing the net builds, so that's the difference. All right, here we go again. Hopefully, we see a draw supporter this game. Hopefully. The start is not promising for that. It's got some energy disruption, but not much else. But it looks like our opponent mulliganed, so that is always a good sign. We're up against a Corviknight VMAX deck, so good matchup. And the fans are huge in this matchup. So our opponent probably plays Coding Energy. Being able to remove those is a really big deal. Luke Metal start, so we'll see how much this is Corviknight versus a Luke Metal build, I guess. But they'll probably have a pretty slow start, so that means we'll have like we can like also be a little bit slower on our end and still be okay. We don't have to be like, you know, out the gates, one-hit KOing everything. We'll be a little bit slower overall. It's an attachment to the Luke Metal. Even a top deck Welder actually here would be really good because we can get into Heatran and Heatran KO this Luke Metal here. Double Quick Ball, so here comes that Zacian. Yeah, there's the Zacian. So they got the Corviknight V, they got the Zacian. Do they play Bronzong is kind of my question here now. Very curious if they play it or not. Drawn to a Boss. All right, that is not what we're looking for. Go ahead and give up this. Grab 2 energy. I will attach the Eldegoss. I will Boss the Because that's the thing I think I'm most scared of, just like them winning the game through. Crushing Hammer, remove that energy, attach, and pass. Yeah, our hand obviously is not great. Straight up, not good. A lot of top decks. A lot of top deck potential here, though. Pokemon, we have the Calm that would get us Dedenne, that could get us Crobat. Oh no, that's a hit off the Intrepitor. We have the Fan to reset that coding energy, though. There's a Welder. Okay, so now we're in a fine spot, I think. We're gonna go ahead and Welder to the Eldegoss. Hopefully, I don't actually know if Heatran's in there or not. Hopefully it is. We can find out right now. Heatran is here. Perfect. We got the Fan as well. So now we're in just a fine spot. Get a knockout here. They will be able to respond with the Luke Metal, but it's fine. Could go ahead and... I think I will go ahead and Crobat here. Try and find something to attach to, because we didn't attach for turn yet. And I would like to get more energy in play. Victini is a fine target. And Team Stomp. Goodbye, Zacian. We're back in it. Rough start, but fire against metal, and we got that energy disruption, which is such a big deal in this matchup. If they get like a really clean start with some coding energy involved, that's where it starts to get a little bit tough for us. And they're going to go ahead and concede, and we walk away with a dub here against the Luke Metal Corviknight deck. Okay, getting into another one. Lost a coin flip. We lost a coin flip in the last one, though. Let's see what our opponent chooses to go. We'd like to go first, but all right, we're going to have to settle for second. But that does open up some kind of... I could calm one of these back into the deck. I think I'd want to calm Eldegoss back, to be honest, because it looks like I'm probably going to go research here. So... I mean, depending on what I top deck, I might Crobat. All right, let's open the Eldegoss. Let's open the Eldegoss. Yeah, I'm thinking if I did top deck comp, I mean, I don't really want either in play. We'd love to open a Victini. Actually, this is the type of hand going second where we can look for that turn one Spreading Flames and just set up a bunch of energy in play. So we can go like Quick Ball, grab the Victini, bench, attach, switch into it. Ooh, all right. ADP is the matchup. We don't like playing against ADP. This one always feels tough. This matchup does feel tough. We'll see how tough it's going to be. Okay, so here's Victini. So we're going to go for the Spreading Flames. So we need to use this first. So we need to go like... let's get 3 energy in the discard pile here, actually. Let's go for 3 energy in the discard pile. Might even go ahead and grab the Heatran right now, because that's what we want to use. We want a GX attack on the next turn to KO the ADP, so... switch. I could Crobat. We already have enough targets in play for them to kind of take advantage of with Ultimate Ray, so I think I am going to Crobat here. See what we draw. Okay, so now we can go attach, research. Now there's 3 in the discard pile, which is just good. It's just good to have that in the discard pile. I kind of want a Dedenne change because I don't want to get Mawile, basically. So I think I'm going to go calm this back. What could I grab that I want to discard? Probably grab the Mew to get rid of. Throw that down. Air Balloon here to make sure we can make it a little bit easier to retreat, and then just go ahead and concede from my opponent, I guess. Were they that scared of Spreading Flames? They got the water energy turn 1. Sure. We'll take a... I guess we could have also found Crushing Hammer there on that turn. Crushing Hammer would have been a big deal too. So Dedenne changing there kind of makes a ton of sense. Plays around Mawile. Potentially we get Crushing Hammer. Could be really disruptive. But sometimes we don't get the Dedenne change before our opponent concedes, and we still end up with the dub though. Okay, I think we've opened a support Pokemon literally every single game so far. We need to put a stop to that. Let's open a Victini V for once. Where are they at? And the Eldegoss top deck. Love to see it. All right, we're going to try and go ahead and find a Victini V to at least start to set up. There one is. Perfect. Go ahead and get rid of the Air Balloon, I think. Escape Rope could be really good. Boss could be really good. Could get Fioned. So we want the Escape Rope because of that. And pass. Let's see what our opponent is rocking. The Fion start. So we know they play Fion. That's something we know for sure. They play Fion. What else do they play is the question. What are we up against here? Find out here hopefully shortly. And then how are we going to be able to deal with it? There's a Dedenne change from my opponent. So maybe both have equally awkward starts. Victini VMAX. Who would have guessed? Pretty reasonable guess right now. One of the most popular decks I feel like out there on the ladder being played in general is this Victini VMAX deck. It really is pretty good. I've been quite a big fan of it since I started playing around with it. I don't know what the best way to play it. There's so many ways people are playing it. My opponent here has got the Pokegear build. Our first game, we played up against that Scoop Up Net build where they didn't even use the Victini VMAX and they kind of just beat us down with Reshizard over and over again. We're playing the Crushing Hammer Energy Denial build. Yeah, so many ways to play this deck. It really is pretty cool to see this many ways for a single deck to be played. Really cool to see that. Really cool to see that for sure. I think we're definitely at a pretty big advantage. Oh, there's the Reshizard. See, how do we deal with Reshizard? I just don't know how we're supposed to deal with Reshizard. It seems so hard to deal with. Our opponent might even get a double blaze this turn on our Crobat. I guess if we know we're up against Reshizard, we maybe play our opening. We maybe want to go second. Like if we know we're in the mirror match like that. Well, but then they can like turn 2 chase our Victini, which sounds even worse. Maybe we need to play our own Reshizard because of the mirror match, though. I guess that could be it. Yeah, because we're about to get double blaze here again, just like in that first game. And that's not fun, man. That is not fun. They're about to go up 2 prize cards already. I guess we can respond with an energy burst. We haven't seen anything that tells us they're playing the Scoop Up Net build, so they actually theoretically can't. Well, they're actually double blaze here, so we could go to the VMAX, but then we only do 100 damage, which is like not good. But then I guess they don't one-hit KO us, which is good. They've thrown down this Victini though, so this makes you want to be a little bit more aggressive with just like going maybe chase Victini, chase Crobat, and then Cramorant snipe Dedenne. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and play for that route. Victini VMAX. That's just here. I'm gonna do this to get rid of the escape rope. Grab 2 energy. Boss up the Victini VMAX. Max Victory. I'm sure they will Flare Strike our Dedenne. So we need to find an out to a boss out of our prize cards or our top deck here. Not a boss. Hopefully our top deck gives us a out to boss. It's almost like necessary right now for that we have that. Otherwise, I think we're just going to lose. But if we do top deck boss, then we can go boss KO Crobat. And then we need an out to Welder to our Cramorant. But this is getting so difficult. I think we're just going to lose again. The Reshizard is just so hard to deal with in the mirror match. I need to change something up to give myself a better shot here, I think, against the Reshizard. Either adding my own Reshizard, or maybe when we do go first, hope our opponent doesn't get the turn 2 Reshizard, or the turn 1 Reshizard, and just kind of body us with it, which has happened twice now. We just don't have a good answer for this thing when they get this far ahead. Okay, they hit our active here, which is definitely a little bit better than I'm getting the KO here, I feel like. But even then, what do we do from here? Still, I feel like we're not in a great spot. Throw down the Victini V, throw down the Cramorant. Want to KO this eventually. Cramorant plus 100 doesn't do it. Victini V could clean it up, but that's not a great answer as well. My own Reshizard would be a pretty good answer here, actually. If we go like hit it with Max Victory into clean it up with the double blaze, that doesn't sound terrible. And KO us with Outrage, so we want to hold on to this Crushing Hammer, I think, for sure. Could run to Heatran this turn and hit it. Plus Crushing Hammer heads. Okay, I kind of like that. That gives us a reasonable out, right? To hit and maybe not get KO'd back. And they did Flare Strike, so they can't Flare Strike next turn, so they might have to switch to the bench anyways. Crushing Hammer Tails, but they could have always attached here, so I think we should still go with Heatran here. Go with the Calm. It's in here. Yeah, I think we should just still go with Heatran here. And force him to have like the switches. Because I don't see how we win this if we don't go for a route like this, to be honest. So Steam and Stomp. Hit it up. We could have GX attacked here as well, to be honest. We could have done 150. But I think this is fine. And yeah, we'll see. If they got switch, all right, that's fine. They got switch. If we could have done 200 damage, that would have been a big deal, because then we could have gone with a fresh VMAX next turn to knock this out. But now we have to kind of use Cramorant, which is like not as good. And our opponent is definitely in a spot where if they just go switch, retreat, knockout, then they can just go Cramorant, KO my Dedenne to close out the game. There's the Fion. I guess I get to keep my Heatran, that means, but we have to send up something that like our opponent can't KO. I think we send up the Victini here every time. Yeah, Victini V should go to the active here. It's the same HP, so it's like the same thing. Basically, they do open up a bench space to work with now, and then there's their Victini V to come down onto the bench. The big question is just like, do they have a KO this turn? Because if they don't, I'm feeling like we're in a decent spot here, to be honest. Yeah, the big question is here, do they have it? They do have a KO. Okay. We can still go with Heatran, though, to get the knockout here. on the Reshizard, and then, I mean, if they have VMAX attached boss, they will be able to close it out on my Cramorant or my Victini V at this point. But if they don't, we can maybe get the dub here. They are down 3 boss. That's a lot of boss. And we do have Dedenne in play, which we can send up like a wall. We want to get Cramorant, get to the point where Cramorant's set up. We only have 1 Dedenne and 1 what's it called left, so using a disturn doesn't do a whole ton, but we could get the Cramorant set up right now just in case our opponent does play reset stamp. So I could go like quick ball away this, grab Crobat. What else is left in the deck? Okay, grab Crobat, quick ball, escape rope. Actually, a Crushing Hammer here is kind of good, because let's grab that just to make sure we have it, I guess. And maybe I should just grab the Dedenne and then grab the Victini and thin that out. Crushing Hammer is kind of big here because that means they can't. Okay, Crushing Hammer heads here is actually huge. And that's it. That's the heads. Get rid of that. I think we should still Dedenne change because we could grab... My thing here is like we could find research even if we whiff the Welder. But if we get the Welder, we're just in such a good spot. It's kind of like worth it to just go deeper here. Got the Welder. Ooh, 2 Welders. Get rid of the... we need another energy. Oh, we don't need any energy active, actually. So let's just get rid of the... Let's get rid of the Welder, actually, and keep the research around. So we can just GX attack for the knockout, and then Cramorant theoretically closes out the game for us on the following turn. This is all assuming our opponent can't win the game on their turn. I may as well go ahead and throw out this Crushing Hammer as well, because we don't want it in the deck anymore. I don't think it's going to do anything for us anymore. And then go ahead and, yeah, Hot Burn GX. We get the KO. Do they have something that can knock us out back is the question here. We got rid of that energy off the bench Victini, which is huge, like I said, because now they can't go attach, evolve, boss, KO my Victini V. They have to do something like... I'm trying to like come up with a route where they can win this turn. 3 energy on their Victini would do 180 to my Heatran, so that's not a knockout. Always putting another energy here would have been really bad, that actually, because then they would have been able to get the knockout. And that would have been terrible. Definitely don't want that to happen. Yeah, can they win this turn? I don't think so, but I actually don't know for sure. There's the Victini VMAX. Do they actually have to send this up in the active and hope? Maybe they play Mew, but then we can still boss up the Dedenne, knock it out with Spit Shot, or boss it up, knock it out with Heatran. We have 3 boss left. Our bench is locked, so an N, or not an N, a reset stamp. I always call it N. A reset stamp would be really, really good here, to be honest. We don't have that many cards left in our deck. We got 3, 6, 7, 8. 15 cards, 3 boss left, so it wouldn't be that devastating. Like, we have a decent chance, not the best chance, but like we could hit it, right? It wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing if we hit the boss, a 2 out of whatever there. No bench space to work with does kind of stink though. Like being able to use Dedenne change or Crobat off of that reset stamp would be great, but I want to get really aggressive to get this thing set up. We don't know if our opponent plays Mew or not. They could play Mew. They could also not play Mew, so who knows, right? Ooh, I just realized we're out of switch cards. I can actually boss up my Victini. Here comes the Whirlpool Suction. We just have to send up to Dedenne, and we're fine. We can just harder treat it. If I had sent up my Victini, they can knock it out with the Victini VMAX. If I had sent up my Crobat, same deal. Cramorant, same deal. Here comes the Welder. So like I said, I think we just win. I think we have game. I don't think there's anything our opponent can do about it. We somehow got through the Reshizard this time and put ourselves in a position to win the game. That Crushing Hammer heads, like I said, was huge. Who knows if they had the boss evolve attached, but they maybe did. So being able to get that Crushing Hammer heads means they have to Welder to attack this turn. And because of that, because they do have to Welder to attack this turn, they can't boss. That means my V Pokemon are safe on the bench. I don't think there's anything else they can do. A Pokemon catcher, I guess, would be the only thing that I could see happening here, right? They could have a Pokemon catcher. They could be playing that and get a heads. But I don't think anyone's really playing Pokemon catcher, so once again, should be safe. There's another Fion, but we have 2 Dedennes. We have 2 Dedennes, so all we have to do is click Dedenne. I could even click Heatran here, actually. Which is, to be honest, seems a little bit safer, because if they did, maybe not. It doesn't really make a difference, actually. I mean, if they like reset stamped me, there's Fion again. I think, yeah, so I think their only winning condition is that I misclick, and that's what they're going for. So I'm being super safe here. Make sure we click the Dedenne, the Heatran. Maybe they can get it one more time, and I'll misclick this time. Yep, they get the one more time. Will I misclick this time around? Let's find out. I'm sure they're grabbing Fiona again. I'll leave my mouse right here. I don't want to move it by accident. Click one of the V Pokemon. Whoa. Right here. Only next to the Heatran. Not moving it anywhere else. Here we go. Whirlpool Suction. Will I misclick? There it is. Now I have to make my choice. I'm going to go with Heatran-GX again. All right. Successful click. And I think that means we got them. They've exhausted all of their Whirlpool Suctions. And they can only hit our Heatran for 100. Actually, they're going with Spreading Flames here instead. Yeah, that is it. That is game. And yeah, there's the concede from my opponent. That was funny at the end there. And that's going to do it, guys, for these games with the Crushing Hammer build of Victini VMAX. Like I said, there's so many ways people are playing it. They're all kind of cool. The card is just pretty powerful in general. Not oppressively powerful, but it's just a strong card. So many ways to play it. What's the best? Crushing Hammers are just kind of good, so that's what I've been doing with it. But what have you guys been doing with Victini VMAX? Give the video a like and then let me know in the comment section down below.